That works. From the month of Black History to the talking about a heavyweight's misery. Deontay Wilder, to all the youth of the world, Deontay Wilder is not a role model to have. To the young men of the world, particularly. And I say that because when you're in the face of an obstacle, if you can't overcome that obstacle at that particular point, are you going to blame everybody in the world for not being able to overcome that obstacle? Hopefully not. If you do, you're not a real man, not a stand-up man. For all the young men in the world, Deontay Wilder has shown you what not to do. And that is not take accountability and or responsibility for a loss, a failure, for anything you haven't accomplished in your life thus far, at a specific moment, a task or a goal, whatever. It is solely up to you, okay, to make sure you are prepared mentally, spiritually, physically, for whatever it is you set out to do in your life. Once you get to that age of 18, once you get that age, or say 21, once you're at that age, a legal adult, if you have now the self-decision to drink alcohol if you want, do drugs, blase if you want, to educate yourself if you have to, or learn a trade, or whatever it may be that will get you to the next level, get you past an obstacle, a target, a goal. Once you've become an adult, it is nothing but a boy-like mentality for making excuses as of why you didn't accomplish that goal. There are a lot of reasons around us that can impede or slow down our process from getting where we got to go. There are tons of obstacles and reasons. You know what I mean? And many of them legitimate. But no man should make excuses. Because excuses, by saying it was this person, that person, this person, blase. I didn't have this when I was growing up. I didn't have my father. I didn't have my mother. Those are good reasons, but you can't use them as no excuses, okay? Because once you come of a certain age, like Deontay Wilder, it's your responsibility then to compensate or do your best to compensate what you didn't receive in the past. And although most of our foundations are set in the first 13 years of our life, you can change, you can learn, you can get better if you have the focus, dedication, self-determinism, okay, discipline, which means you need to become a disciple, because that's where the word discipline comes from, right? Deontay Wilder's made every excuse in the book. He's in an article saying that Kenny Bayless is running across the rules for the fight. And Deontay Wilder says in his mind, this is off. As he said, I'm paraphrasing from the interview he gave the day after the fight. Well, I wonder if you saying this to Fury. That is the first thing, the first sign of somebody already being set to look for an excuse. And it's too many young men around the world that you work with, you see every day, that have every fucking excuse in the book. But that was the first sign Deontay Wilder mind, in that state, a very weak mind, was preparing for an excuse already. The same, Kenny Bellis must say the same thing to Deontay Wilder as he says to Tyson Fury, and vice versa. There's a uniformed message given to both. The same rules, what he will be calling, what he won't be calling, what he would deduct a point for, what he will not deduct a point for. Blase, blase. He was already set to have set up an excuse before the fight ever took place. That is a weak mindset for a man. And that's what I'm telling all the young boys of the world. Deontay Wilder is a poor excuse for a role model, especially if you want to be a man. Then he says the leg. Then he says the uniform or the costume he wore, with the Duracell bunny ass rabbit batteries in the back, whatever. I see what Deontay Wilder is doing. Unfortunately, I've seen done by so many men in the world today. It's pathetic. Even myself, to a degree. Until I look in the mirror and you become a man and say, you know what? If I want things to change, I must change myself. I must take accountability and or responsibility for my actions, be it positive or negative. You can't fix a problem until you recognize and admit there is a problem with you. You feel me? So I'll close this out with saying Deontay Wilder was using Black History Month supposedly to arouse the fans. I don't know if it was to get motivation. His costume, I don't know where was that from. Was that supposed to look like anything related to Black history in any way? I'm not sure. It didn't look like it to me. But all I can say is Deontay Wilder and all the fans of him in this world, some of the reporters, blase, we've gone from a month of Black history, which to me is blasphemy, to a month that displayed a heavyweight's misery. And Deontay Wilder, in order for you to escape this misery, you must take accountability and responsibility for your actions when they're negative, just as you would if they were positive. Okay? Young boys, young teenagers, young men of the world, Deontay Wilder showed you what not to do. And even more, what not to become. A victimized-minded, excuse-making Bama of a man. This is Myra Magnus and another segment of Boxing Logics United. This is the end. From Black history to Black misery. Peace and pugilism.